Hi guys, Alex here, and today is the day we find out what tickled my pickle this week. Amongst many things, we have Apple trying to ruin its reputation with two crucial upgrades, hotels in space, shameless birds, Target, bidding on education, and a bit of Elon Musk sprinkled in between. So let's see if I can tickle your pickles with my news and dig in. So let's open up with hotels in space. As the industry grows, of course, for the tourism in the space, obviously we expect a hotel to be somewhere there. The problem is this company that's called the Gateway Foundation, they've been operating for about 10 years and they are claiming that they want to open a fully operational luxury hotel which will fit 500 people, so it'll be about 500 rooms with gym, bar and all other amenities a normal Earth hotel would have. They want to open it by 2027. Just so you know, it's literally 5 years from now. As of right now, they've been operating for about 10 years and literally nothing has happened. Just so you realize, in the same amount of time, Elon Musk went from, well, not nothing, but like nothing to being the richest man in the world and building a spaceship that won a $2.5 billion contract with NASA to literally fly into space. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen by 2027. They're not going to build a hotel. The interesting thing is the cost of things. Apparently it costs about $360,000 US for each day a person is up there trying to do some sort of works. And if you can imagine, you need to put together this 500 people hotel. So $360,000 for one person, that's not including the cost for them to get there. Then you also have to take into account how much it costs to actually lift something into space. At the moment, the cheapest option you have is Elon Musk, of course. That will cost you $1,700 US for 1 kilogram of something to get up there. If they want to have a fully functioning gym, right, the weight of a dumbbell that's 30 kilograms will cost them $50,000 US to get up there. One dumbbell, 50K, and they probably want to have more equipment than just one dumbbell up there. So it will be probably one of the most expensive gyms out there. As you can see in images here, they do have interesting designs. It's very futuristic and nice and all of this lush style. But again, I doubt that it will happen by 2027. But let's see. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe they will make it happen, but I doubt that they will, but I hope they will, because it will be pretty cool. It's super nice to be living in the world where you literally have people building, well, at least talking about building a hotel in space. That's super awesome. To the next news. Next up is Elon Musk and the Starship. Of course, recently they've put the whole thing together, so the booster and the actual rocket ship itself, they put it together, and this Starship itself is supposed to carry about 100 people up and down from the red planet, i.e. Mars. So this whole machine is a reusable rocket that goes up to the red planet and back. The size of this thing is insane. The height of the rocket is 400 feet. That's 120 meters. This thing, which is a ship, a rocket that goes into the space and back and then go there again, back and again, it's basically a third of Shard. A Shard is about 310 meters, so it's more than a third of it. And that is insane. Can you imagine? 10 years ago, no one in the universe on our planet would even have kind of imagined that there will be just a guy who just like, yeah, I'm just gonna build a rocket. And there it is, 120 meters tall, preparing for a test flight. We don't know when the test flight is going to happen. They are promising that hopefully it will happen by the end of this year, which will be a legendary moment, and hopefully they will make it happen. And in any case, that is an amazing achievement. And I really look forward to the day when you can just, you know, buy a ticket like you go on to Stansted or JFK, if you're American, and just buy a ticket and like, yep, I'm gonna go to Mars and back for a weekend. Banterous days, it's exciting. To the next news. Next up is Target. While some people like Elon Musk trying to say, "F this world, let's go to build a new one somewhere up there," others decided to try and fix what we have on this planet. As you're aware, education sucks a fat one anywhere you go, pretty much. And the company Target, which for UK folks is basically if Asda and B&Q had a baby, that will be Target, pretty much. So Target, a huge corporation in USA, huge retail company, they decided that from now on, they will sponsor college for all of their employees. All of them. So if you become a Target employee from day one, no matter part-time or full-time, you have an option to go and ask them to pay in full for your college education. And even they will give you $10,000 for each year you do your master's degree. That is awesome. That's super amazing that a corporation that relies on really low skilled workers, you don't need to be a genius or any education pretty much to pack bags or to scan barcodes, but they decided that they want to invest in their people, and I think that's an amazing and the right choice, and they will sponsor people's education. And that's super amazing because there's a lot of lower skilled workers out there that can't afford to go to university or to go to college because it's bloody expensive. And that's why the best social mobility is actually in places where there's free education, like in Scandinavian countries. But in USA, the social mobility is not as high because there is no free education, and that puts barriers in place for people. And basically, they will pay for it, and that's super amazing. And best of luck to these guys. They'll spend about $200 million on it, which is a lot, which is great publicity for them as well. And I really hope that they will change some lives, and I hope they will do. And I think it's a smart choice because, if you have somebody comes to you as a teenager, wants to work in Target for summer or whatever, and they start working there and they have an option that they will sponsor their education, the likelihood that they will come back as a manager, as a store manager, as a merchandising manager, or whatever higher level, more skilled position that what they need is much greater. And obviously the company itself would be more invested and interested in hiring people they spent money for education on. So that's pretty good and pretty exciting. So I hope more companies will follow suit and tell people to get some education. Even though it's shit out there, education, it is bad. It's better to have some education than none, pretty much. So yeah, good days. Next up are shameless birds. First of all, let's get some basics in. We have birds that make nests. To make nests nice and cozy, they use soft materials to line inside the nest to make it comfortable for the birds and for the baby birds, right? Makes sense. Then we have a specific type of bird called tufted titmouse. Who comes up with these delightful names? That's hilarious. Tufted titmouse, or its kind of official name is Lapus bicolor, because it has two colors. Anyway, so we have the titmouse, of course, who stuffs its nests with fur. The question is, where do you get the fur of a carnivore animal? Basically an animal that would probably eat the bird. And well, scientists thought that they just opportunistically grab the fur when animals shed, or if animal dies, they grab it from it. Turns out that these ballsy little titmouses, what they do is they find a sleeping animal like a wolf, and they literally fly to it, sit down, and just start picking fur out of a live, sleeping, bloody animal. What a ballsy little bird. So yeah, that's how they get their fur. The question is, why do they use the fur and not like something else, like cotton or whatever other things that they can find in nature? And it turns out it's, well, we don't know for sure, and scientists don't know because I don't think they care enough to actually do research into that area, but they think that first is fur protects the nest from like parasites because of the oils and things that are in live animal fur, and the second thing is the smell of the animal probably wards off any predators that want to attack the birds. Maybe, we don't know, that's kind of the assumption. That's it. To the next news. So next up is Apple. As you know, Apple is well known for the privacy and security of your information and data. But now they announced that there are two features that they will implement that could potentially damage that reputation, depending obviously on how they are executed. The first feature is that they will sort through your iCloud images, all of them, everything that you have stored on iCloud or anywhere for that matter on your device, pretty sure. They will check against the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They have a database of images that are deemed inappropriately to train the AI. So they will look at the images and they will determine how inappropriate they are in comparison to the images by NCMEC. So that's feature number one. And the good thing about it is that the processing will be done on your device. So it won't be, images wouldn't be shared with anyone or sent to anyone. They will be checked on your device by Apple's chip, either on iPhone or iPad or MacBook, whatever it may be. It will be checked on your device. And if no foul play is found and everything's fine, your images won't be shared with anyone. So it's private and secure. Wow. However, if the algorithm that checks the images will determine that your images are naughty, like even one of them is dangerous and it doesn't comply, it will be sent for a manual review by a person in Apple. And after that, if they do determine that it is actually a prohibited content, they will inform the authorities and you will be ratted out to the police. Feature number two is that the same thing will happen with all the images that you send and receive. So if you are a child, for example, and you have a phone, if you receive an image and the AI algorithm determines that this image is not appropriate and of some sexual content, you will get a warning and the image will be blurred. And you will have an option to click that, no, I want to view it anyway. If you click that button, then your parents will be sent the image and will be notified that you are viewing this image. So it can be quite quickly stopped by your parents. Same happens if you are sending images out there. So if you are a child and you're sending an image of inappropriate content, AI will try to understand that it's inappropriate and block it and let your parents know that this has happened. The thing is, that doesn't only apply to children. I'm pretty much like 99% sure all messages that you'll be sending through iPhone will be checked for inappropriate content. And if they will be deemed inappropriate, they will be sent again to a manual review. And if the manual reviewer determines them inappropriate, you will be reported. The problem with this whole thing is that people can manipulate what images are in this particular list of images. It's not like 2 images, it's like a lot of images. Somebody can add additional images like of naked people, for example, and suddenly all of the images of your naked partner or your naked self will be reported as, inappropriate and will be sent to Apple for review and somebody will be looking at you. That's not right. Or any other people with guns, for example, suddenly all the people that have images of guns or had guns will be sent there. Anyone who is of a certain religion, for example, suddenly will be sent there. So there is a massive problem that it can be exploited. How likely it is, it's questionable, but as we know, there is no corporation or no company, no government out there that hasn't been hacked or kind of used against the free will of people. At some point, something has happened that was influenced by, a hacker group or whatever to steal data or use data, whatever it may be. Same can be here, where a group of individuals just decide to sway the algorithm one way or another and hence infringe of your right of freedom, basically. So I think that's a difficult spot to be, because you do want to protect the children, but at the same time you don't want to give this insane power to some organization. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, so that could be very well as shown here. There are good intentions to protect the children, but we might end up in a very dark place where this algorithm can be used to track certain types of people, which is not right. We ended up on a bit of a negative news, but it is what it is. Hit that like button if you liked the news, if I tickled your pickle. If I didn't, hit that dislike button and let me know that your tickle was not pickled, and let's see what we can do about it. Again, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support, your likes, your comments, your engagements, and yeah, let's see if I can tickle your pickle next time. We gotta make them right. Chillin' with mine. We triple up, they on a double up. Triple dub. Came from the basement, we only going up. They loving us. Up in the booth, I'm getting dizzy, but they the cup is up. Toast to my people that's on the come up, and you live with us.